Okay, here we are back for the third round game now. The third round game was against like a maybe a middle school boy, Luke Chow, and yeah, I had the black pieces. I was 0-2. We were both 0-2 coming into this game, looking for a win. This was the under 1800 section, and I believe he was around like 1540. So he was one of the lower rated players in the section. And what actually ended up happening was he played e4, if my board will work. Yeah. And yeah, here I went for an Alekine's defense. My first game as black, I played e5, so I thought it was time to switch it up and play an Alekine's defense. Something I'd probably say is my best weapon on the chessboard. And he surprised me with knight to c3. Usually in Alekhine mainlines, white would play e5, but playing knight c3 definitely indicates you're not looking to play against that Alekhine. But, you know, I play e5 myself. Now we're in a sort of Vienna game, but we quickly transfer into a 4 knights, and this is exactly what I had in my first game, and my opponent played exactly what the guy in the first round played. So, and we actually talked after the game. My opponent said he prepped me. In the game I took, and this is top line of the engine. Let me turn the engine off, please. Yeah, so bishop pin. Oh my god, it's doing it again. Bishop pins. Right, and take the knight. And you can, there's situations where you can take, and take to preserve the structure, or you can even take it this way, so you don't have to trade queens. But I had those games are actually not that great and kind of hard to play for black, but I figured out anyways that it's hard to play and annoying for black. So yeah, I just had to really revise this whole 4 knight Scotch variation. I'm not very, I don't like it, you know, what I play for it. So second time getting it this tournament, very upset about that. I took back this, and then bishop d3, and in the first round game I played d6, and I was sitting here and I was like, well, I played h6 last time and it worked, you know, I didn't lose out of the opening, so let's play h6, because I thought I had played h6 and not d6, and clearly my opponent was more prepared for d6, because h6 is actually a mistake. H6 gets met by e5, and then when the knight moves, it's like, oh, look at all this, look at all, wait, yeah, look at all that, and then queen here. And yeah, you can do all this. Bishop's hanging there. And if here, yeah, let me tell you, those are 2 B's. Like, you move the rook, welcome to my house. This is not fun. This is not how you want to play. This is bad. So yeah, I'm very grateful he didn't play this move e5. Instead, he castled. And unknowingly, because I didn't know this line before or during the game, unknowingly preventing this line, I do play d6, essentially preventing the push to e5. I did know vaguely that in these types of positions you do not want your opponent to play e5. Clearly I overlooked it beforehand. But here we are. I can't even really remember what he played. He played h3. I think this indicated that I don't think he really knew what to do anymore. I don't even really think my bishop was going to go here, or my knight, so yeah, I was kind of shocked. I played takes because I remember in my first round game, the bishop just didn't really serve too big of a role in the game, especially in the like early middle game parts, so I was kind of like, let's just take and damage the structure. these pawns are always going to be weak. My pawns are weak too, but you have weak pawns too, so I figured it was fine. I don't need the Bs, even though I love the bishops. I'll be fine without the bishop pair and having a knight. I developed my bishop. Engine was not a fan of this, and Engine really didn't like the way I played this whole entire, next set of moves here. I'll tell you when Engine starts approving me again, but he develops his queen, but it's really an X-ray, so if I made a stupid move, you just go here, and now my knight's being hit, and this is being hit, and this would be GG's. So instead, I defended with my queen, which I don't think was a great move. I think he should probably just play this anyways, just to really weaken these pawns. But instead he goes here, and I actually make a really bad decision here, and I play c5. And the reason this is a bad decision is because, again, of this move e5. I can get this move in, I can get this move in, but then what? Now I kind of have to take. I don't really want to play here, but it didn't really play out that way. Instead, I think he was afraid of me kicking out his bishop, so he played this, but this didn't really make much sense to me either. I thought this was bad, and so after playing some bad moves, I finally decided to play a good move. I know, it's been rare so far this tournament. Not actually, but I played queen to c6, so if this pawn ever pushes, what I think I realized that was a big problem, was this push e5, is that now I can take and disrupt, and the knight is free to move back to d7 now. Another great reason of moving the queen to c6 is unveiling this horrible knight that's just a target for this pawn, and giving it a space where it can go, be free and happy. And essentially that's what happened in the game. He played rook b1, which is logical, taking control of an open file, and then I castled. Oh, I did play knight d7 first. Wow, my bad. But yeah, I'm actually threatening this little weird fork. People really, in this situation, this bishop's so bad, I don't think he has to worry about it so much. It's still a nice move for me, just to give my knight better allies for moving, but he played this move, which I thought was weird. He didn't have to move that yet. I guess he gets out of the pen, and I missed his idea, because after I castled, he played this move f4, which is clearly his idea, getting the queen out of the way. And yeah, I was kind of surprised by this move. I knew this f4 is such a big idea early in the opening to get this. So when I play this move d6, like I did however long ago, you play this f4 so that you can still get in the e5, trade, and these pawns are weak and you still have a pawn on e5. But yeah, in this position it's a little different because I can just go f5 and mirror him. And now if you push, I guess he probably could have tried for this, but I am winning a pawn. But then he is getting some sort of discovery. So it's weird. He probably didn't want to go for that. He went for a simpler approach, and he kind of fell right into a trap. When I played this f5 move, obviously I calculated out, take. What does he do now? And I thought the most logical response was this, because my rooks are ready to come in and play. I'm ready to start pushing p. His bishop can find a way, even if I can push and hit here. I thought this was actually really dangerous to let the rooks go here, but then I realized something. Which this has all happened in the game. So this was the position that happened. And yeah. What about knight b6? How about this knight from one of the worst pieces in the game to now the best piece? And the reason why is because this pawn is undefendable. First of all, he can't defend it at all right now. And after I played this move, my opponent, he was very not happy. He knew he was in for a long game. And the best thing about knight b6 is I don't even have to take it next move. Because what's the point of defending this pawn? Like, let's say he goes here and I play here. What now? This rook is just stuck here, defending this pawn. Is 1 point of material really worth taking away 5 from the entire game? Let me take control of other areas. So that was another reason why it's such a nice move. And he really, I think he just kind of flaked out of control here. I definitely had an advantage, but he plays this move g4, which I thought was a good idea. Like, your pawn storming, like, let's try and get some counterplay, maybe open up his king. I don't care if I open up my king because I'm already on the back foot kind of thing. I do this sometimes too. You kind of try and create chaos when you realize that you're not doing so hot. But what this does is this rook already wanted to move. So now he should have waited until I move this rook to play this move. Because now I'm just getting it for free. Now I move back for free, if that makes sense. Rook to f7, not going back to f8, because I have a plan in mind that will come to fruition. He's getting ready to storm his pawns, but he misses my idea. I want to take full control over the only open file. Well, I guess B is also open, but the E file is more centralized, and I thought the E file was much more attractive. And he defends, but I still get my big attack. And then finally, he makes a big mistake. He should just move his bishop here. He should just move his bishop here, no matter how ugly. I mean, it's already not good, but he decided to bring extra protection. But all it really does is it just pins the bishop to the rook. This rook has one defender. And yeah, I'm ready to take with the knight finally. And now I'm hitting the bishop 3 times. He is also defending it 3 times. But if the bishop moves, I get the rook. And if it goes here, the knight takes. So he can defend the rook twice, but then I get the bishop. So his pieces are all stuck. The rook can't stop defending the bishop. The rook can't stop defending the bishop, and the king can't stop defending the bishop. So yeah, he tries to stop my idea, but it doesn't really matter. I play d5, and my goal is to just hit the bishop. And he pushes, I push again, and now I'm threatening to take the bishop. If the bishop moves, you already know what happens. So takes, and again we see bishop here, knight takes, rook takes, and here. And I did see this position from afar, and I knew that I was okay after knight checks the king. The king moves, and I have this nice move, c5, protecting my beautiful pawns. And I didn't see his next move coming, but he tries to put a little bit of a hut on my king, trying to kind of clamp down on him. I did not see this coming, but I was afraid of moves like this and trying to get in, and maybe annoying, so I played this move, knight to c3, to block the rook's avenues of moving around. Maybe could even target this pawn. Now I'm actually hitting this pawn and blocking the rook. So yeah, he decides to get out of that block, but I check the king with my rook, and at this point I am completely winning. The king moves up. He's trying to put as much pressure on my king as possible. I get out of the hut, just making sure my king has an escape square, because if the rook magically teleported to the back rank, it would have been checkmate. So, giving my king the escape square it needs, and yeah, my opponent does indeed slide the rook over, but I just push the p. Pushing p is my best friend right now, and he also pushes. I think he's just going for it all. I bring my rook up, he checks, I slide my king out of the way, he checks again, and then here, I'm just completely winning. Like I am. I'm just completely winning. Like even here, takes, here, like you can get, oh, but this rook is here, and I'm just queening. So, but I went here. And as soon as I let go of the piece, I thought I had lost. I thought I got checkmated. I thought I made the biggest blunder in my career because of this move, rook to f7. I was like, it's checkmate, I can't go anywhere. And I was like, oh, I can't go somewhere. Thank God. But this was a really bad move. I'm just giving him chances to survive here. He gives a check, and it just looks like, oh my God. And it still says I'm fine, and it really didn't like here. It actually wanted me to push, but I was afraid of this. I know, yeah, I'm queening, but I don't know. This is, I guess, it is completely winning. I guess I just didn't like the fact I took this way, because now when he pushes, I have this nasty, dirty little boy. So I push, and now he just gives me a barrage of checks, and I knew all I had to do was get to a safe spot, because if he was to promote now, I just have this simple little tactic, and yeah, I should be completely winning here. So I wasn't afraid. He keeps checking me, and finally I get to a place where there's no checks. The rook slides over, but I queen. When the rook takes, the knight takes. It's simple. It still just remains the fact that I have this nasty little tactic, so he was never really able to promote. And the game continued on. Moved his king, and now I have to finally go after the pawn. I could have went this way or this way. Chose this way, and I just pushed b. Simple as that. But nonetheless, a nice win. And here, my opponent did resign. I moved 52. Overall, it was relatively okay for me. Other than this silly little king move right here, it was pretty much smooth sailing conversion, because it was pretty clear after knight to b6 that I was winning. Like, I took the queen here and knight b6, and I was clearly winning. I knew it was just a matter of converting it into an actual win and not just being winning. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. Not disappointed. First win of the tournament, so I was now 1-2. And my fourth round game is definitely the star of the tournament, so if you watch this one, you should definitely watch the video right after this one. So yeah, that's it.